Unit 5 Test Study Guide, question number 9. You're given 4 pieces of information here. There's a recipe. It uses 1½ cups of brown sugar and 1 2/3 cups of flour to make 20 muffins. And Jonah has a total of 5 cups of flour. So question 1. How many cups of brown sugar will Jonah use if he uses all 5 cups of flour? You need to set up a proportion that's going to compare what we're being asked about, brown sugar to flour. So again, start with line equals line, and the information they gave you is it's 1½ cups of, and again, labels are wonderful, brown sugar over 1 2/3 cups of flour. And we're wanting to use all 5 cups of flour. Since I put flours on the bottom on this side, I need to put flour on the bottom on this side, and I'm looking for how many cups of brown sugar. So, solving a proportion, cross-multiplying is a powerful tool. You're going to have 1 2/3 times x is going to equal 5 times 1 1/2. Change this into improper fractions and drop the dot. 3 times 1 is 3 plus the 2. This is 5/3 x equals 5 times, make that 5 over 1, make it look like a fraction, times 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 is 3, times 3/2. Nothing to reduce on this side. You're going to end up with your equation as being 5/3 x equals 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2, equals 15 over 2. So to solve this equation, you need to get the x by itself. It's being multiplied by 5/3. You want to divide by 5/3. Do the same to this side. Divide by 5/3. This side will get you your x. This side is what we're going to need to do for our answer. And that is going to be that x is going to equal 15 over 2 divided by, use the line with 2 dots, divided by, that's supposed to be 5/3, divide by 5/3. And again, you don't really divide with fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal, or you do keep, change, flip, or keep, dot, flip. So it's 15 over 2 times the reciprocal of 5/3 is 3/5. Reducing before you multiply is a wonderful tool. 5 and 15 can both be divided by 5. This 5 becomes a 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Multiply numerator times numerator, you get 9. Denominator times denominator, you get 2. So x is equal to 9/2. Change that into a mixed number. 2 would go into 9 4 whole times. You'd have 1 piece left over. That'd be 8 pieces. 1 piece left over. Leave it as a fraction. 4 1/2. So your answer is 4 1/2. 4 1/2 cups of brown sugar. That is our answer. Okay, problem 2, still using the same information, but this time they're asking about how many muffins we can make if he uses the 5 cups of flour. So this time you need to set up a proportion that compares muffins to flour, or flour to muffins. Again, start with line equals line. I'm going to go ahead and put, doesn't matter way, but I'm going to go ahead and put muffins on top, and I'm going to put flour on the bottom. From the information up above, what you know is that with 1 2/3 cups of flour, you can make 20 muffins. That's the rate that we need. You make 20 muffins when you use 1 2/3 cups of flour. And now he is wanting to do this using 5 cups of flour. Again, flour was on the bottom on this side, so we put it on the bottom on this side. We're looking for how many muffins he can make. So cross multiply. 1 2/3 times x, multiplying this way, has to equal 20 times 5. 20 times 5, that is 100. 1 2/3 times x, make that into an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3 plus the 2. This is 5/3 x equals 100. That's our equation. We need to isolate the variable. We need to get the x by itself. It's being multiplied by 5/3. You undo multiplying with dividing. So you divide by 5/3. Whatever you did to this side of the equation, do the same over here. Divide this side by 5/3. Over here we will get x. Over here we will get our answer when we do the math. First, write this as a regular math problem. It is, instead of a complex fraction or some kind of a strange fraction, it's 100 divided by 5/3. 100 over 1, since we're sort of dealing with fractions here, make that 100 look like a fraction. And you don't really divide with fractions. You multiply by the reciprocal. Leave the first one alone, 100 over 1. So it's keep dot flip or keep change flip, or you don't really divide, you multiply by the reciprocal, 3/5. Again, reducing is a wonderful tool. 100 and 5 can both be divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So now I have 20 times 3, that is 60, and 1 times 1 for my denominator, 60 over 1, that is 60. He can make 60 muffins using all 5 cups of flour. And then question number 10. Tank is being filled. They are keeping track of the rates over here. They want an equation for this relationship that compares the water W and the number of gallons of water W to the amount of time it takes. To write an equation, again, first thing you need is a unit rate. Okay? Time is normally the independent variable, so we are going to put it on the bottom. Any of these will work. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, you drain, or you're filling up 34 gallons. Reducing is a wonderful tool. Both of these can be divided by 2. You get 17 gallons in 2 minutes. Now I'm going to need to go ahead and just do the division. I need to divide by 2, and so I need to do, okay, that is going to get me how much water there is in 1 minute, but I need to do 17 divided by 2. 2 would go into 17 8 times, that would be 16. Subtract, I get 1, put a decimal point, fill in with a 0, bring it down. 2 would go into, decimal point goes straight up. 2 would go into 10. 5 times, it is 8.5 gallons in 1 minute. That's our unit rate. all of them have the W on the same side and the M on the same side, we don't really have to think about the Y and the X then. We just need to recognize that that's our unit rate. So there is that unit rate. Letter D is the correct answer.